At least I can come in here and be ready when I do have a bike to go outside. Got my iPad with power readings, got my power meter on the bike, kind of all set. Outdoors, it's really rainy, so I might as well lock myself in here for an hour or so and get after it rather than just complaining. Well, it looks like there is another storm rolling into Tahoe. So we're gonna be getting some rain, maybe slush coming through for the next 3 days. Not the most fun weather, I'd say. You know, one thing about being somewhat distressed or just sad in life is that you can eventually, you just give up on the anger. You just accept what life is and you just try to roll with it and just keep moving forward. Sadly though, there are so many people who are just so angry these days, and they get triggered about all kinds of stuff and act out in irrational ways. Case in point, what brought this to my mind was I was doing a delivery, and there was an old Land Cruiser. Now these Land Cruisers, they don't go very fast. They are probably bad handling cars, just not really an optimal vehicle. So they generally drive really slow, and they are driven by people who don't have any place to be, typically retired people. And so when I had a chance, of course, you know, I'm like trying to do this delivery so I can get another ride afterwards. I passed this guy, which then he decides then to find his gas pedal and follow me for about 10 miles. He follows me all the way to the house where I was delivering groceries at. And I wish I would have grabbed my camera. Like, I really need to just have this thing attached to my hip. But I basically went up and I asked him, is there a problem? And he starts yelling at me that I shouldn't have passed him. And I was like, well, there was a passing lane, not a lane, but you know, the dotted line. And you were doing 40 and a 55. And so, yes, I'm gonna go around you because you're in an older vehicle and I've got places to be. And he starts yelling at me that I should go back to where I belong, and he starts yelling at me that I don't live there. And I was just like, you know, I don't owe you anything about telling you where I live, and that he has no idea who I am. And basically, in front of the customer that I was delivering Safeway groceries from, I told him just to fuck off or get out of his car and see what he wanted to do about it. Of course, he didn't get out of his car, and he just yelled some profanities at me, which then I, of course, just gave him the bird and walked away. I was pretty calm. I wasn't angry or anything, but boy, the gall of someone to follow another person and just take that risk of perhaps physical violence over what I'd assume is him just having a nice day driving his old 1950s Toyota Land Cruiser, which I'm sure is pretty damn expensive these days, isn't cheap, probably has a second home in Tahoe, and yet is still willing to throw his weight around in a way, I suppose, or just some form of authority over the roads, that we all need to get in line, or I don't know, maybe like talk about virtuous of him being a local in Tahoe, but yet he has no idea that I'm a local here. I mean, I think 12 plus years justifies saying that. But yeah, there's a lot of anger in the world from the idea of politics and maybe class warfare, which I understand. But in a way, like, I mean, I'm the person that technically should be just waiting for this to happen, like a way to take out some of my aggression towards the world in a physical way. Not that I'm really super angry, but there is angst about it, and I have nothing to lose. Nothing. Versus the person who probably has money, several homes, and they're coming after people that have no reason not to reciprocate actual violence against them. I think that we just need to be more careful about who we're confronting, because these days we really don't know. And I mean, I'm not backing down, and I will I will go after someone, I suppose, if they're gonna get out of their car and they're gonna want to throw down. I'm just gonna want to probably carry my camera so that way I can have it on film that we both consent to physical violence. Not that that's what I want to do, but damn, I think it would feel real good to just have a fight. Not of anger, but just, if that's what someone else wants, why not? You know, of course, I'm pretty much all talk and no action when it comes to physical violence. I mean, I'd like to think that I was capable of it, but I don't know, I'd probably try to de-escalate. But maybe once. I don't know, you know, you have like fights when you're young, but then you don't, as you get older, you come to more civilized means of coming to an agreement, or not like getting down to fist fights. Then if we do, how are we much better than the animals out there? Which maybe that's all we are, is just mammals trying to all get along. But the thing that kind of got to me is, you don't really know who you're confronting, and it's not really like the safest thing to do. A lot of us don't know what another person's going through, and to like basically chase down someone because you feel slighted for like something that's really just meaningless, and allow yourself to get so caught up in road rage is pretty mind-boggling to me. You know, you might as well just let people go and like go on with your bad self and have a good day. You know, don't let it really bother you. There's so many actual issues going on that should be taking up more of your headspace and making you angry than being slighted on our road, for being passed for going 15 miles an hour under the speed limit. But sadly, I think that's the world we're coming to. No matter what your class state is we're all feeling slighted, I suppose, in a way. and feeling like we're being taken advantage of, and there's boogie people out there to get us around every corner and behind every tree. I think those of us at the bottom of the barrel, we put up with a lot of shit, because we gotta deal with people like us who are just inconsiderate poor people, and then the inconsiderate rich people who then hire us to do the dirty work that they want. And we have to just listen to all this. Oh, well, if we didn't have all these people from other countries coming in, no one wanted to do the jobs. And it's like, oh, what, my job? Even just jobs at the fast food restaurants, they don't want to pay anything. And I get it, because they're so separated through their corporate bureaucracy from the actual employees anymore. It's just so far separated that we're no longer even people. We're just numbers on a spreadsheet. Don't even really deserve the dignity of an afterthought of like, well, if we fire all these people, they might have families to support or just support themselves in a way. And fuck the future. We're just gonna build kiosks and robots and send everyone else into servitude. And then here I am, like, complaining about it all over again. And I could make a difference, and I could just do something different, or just disappear into the wilderness and find a way to survive off of the land. I just gotta figure out what that really is. Somehow try to figure out some land, and then just have some animals around. That would probably be the best outcome overall. This is gonna be a real cluster fuck of a video. Just different messaging, kind of all over the place. I just can't tend to like get a comprehensive thought out today. This is kind of like I'm just jumping topic to topic, or something that's going through my brain. Just there's a lot going on up here the last few days, and I think a lot of it just comes down to the fact of life is unfair, and as hard as that messaging is, it's something that we're all gonna have to really deal with. And I just need to get on with it. Realize that inequalities and unfairness is always gonna be around. There's not much I can really do about it, except for just, I guess, pushing forward and keep striving to be the best version of myself that I can. And maybe that's not that great. And also just having this false sense of like superiority and thinking I didn't do any of these things that are really wrong, and trying to live a just and moral life, that doesn't guarantee anything. And I just need to let that thought go, because it's not serving me. There's a lot of people who have made mistakes and are really successful, and there's people who made no mistakes in life and are not successful. And it's just sometimes the drop of the coin, or like the roll of the dice, and how much luck you have in your own life. And those who are willing to just suck it up, put in the work, and get on with it, and just take your lickings and keep on going. I was watching an Asmongold video, and he was talking about how Gen Z is kind of given up, and they're talking about not having the bootstraps to even pull themselves up by. And I kind of thought he was going to agree with him, but then he said more people have pulled themselves out of poverty by that mentality of pull yourself by the bootstraps get on with it, work hard, and just do the things that no one else really wants to do. And that kind of resonated with me, and I needed to just stop the complaining and feeling bad about myself, and this idea of like checking out early is such a victim mentality. And as long as I have breath, health, and the ability to work and keep moving forward, I know that's what I need to do. It's just hard at times to keep the motivation up. Everyone kind of deserves a cheerleader, I think. And at times, you really need that cheerleader more than other times. But in reality, I kind of have it through the comments of this YouTube channel. So I really don't have any excuse, because I'm not really alone. There is other people who, I don't know, I guess watch the content, and they like to leave good positive comments, and I need to just be aware that it's not just me in the struggle. There's a lot of us. We're all dealing with our own life issues and challenges, and try and just navigate this land that can be, quite honestly, just basically bullshit that tries to pull us down and take us under, and hope that we give up and fail and just give in to all of these world leaders that just would like us to be the cattle or the goy and just follow along and agree with our tribe and our messaging and like it. But at least we all have a choice, and we can choose our own path, no matter if we're destitute and we're homeless, or we don't have any money. There's always going to be another opportunity that comes around, and I think we just have to remember that the best, perhaps, is always yet to come, because yesterday doesn't even matter anymore, and tomorrow is always a brand new day. Even if we're not looking forward to it, and we think that it's all pointless and hopeless, we're not here yet. We're not in the graveyard. We're not underneath a tombstone or the dirt. There is always a future and something to look forward to, as long as we still have breath in our bodies. As long as we're bringing in the oxygen and we can keep moving, then there's always hope. Even if, I'm not happy about saying it. Sometimes I want to relish in my anguish and my anxiety and stress and just depression state. Sometimes it feels good just to be in that, but it doesn't serve us in the long run. So, I don't know. Try to be better than me and not just be negative, I suppose, because we're not here. And I suppose it's not up to us when we get to join. All right.